No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You never
Alrighty, folks, TGIF, or whatever the motivational thing you're supposed to say on a Friday is. Welcome to Friday morning stream, where we are jumping into PMR, Project Motor Racing, once again. Seems to be our go-to game that we have the most fun in. If you don't like Project Motor Racing, maybe give the stream a shot, and, see someone else not hating it, and maybe your brain will be slightly opened up to the possibility of more than one opinion. Anyway, today we're going to be jumping into career mode. We're going to be using one of the modded careers that's in the mod hub. Eagles made it. He's one of the modders in this community, and he does some pretty cool things. So it's basically his world tour we're going to be doing, which is essentially just every track, randomized weather, and we run through it and we see how we do. We are going to be doing GT3. We're going to be using, fun fact, the EJR/Simagic livery that is now in the mod hub. I might as well just show it to you, since why not? There they are, right here. There's a gray one, which is my personal favorite. However, it does need a revision. I missed it when it was being made. But basically, the back windshield is gray, like the base color of the car, and so is the rear bumper valence. So those will be made black in time, but for now, these are the cars that are in the game that I have. In the process of doing the Mercedes GT3, the AMG, and as well as the Cadillac LMDH, since those are some preferred cars of mine. This car right here, this is not mine. However, this is the modder, Azalosi. I'm butchering his name most likely. He's the one who makes the liveries for me, so I have to plug him shamelessly. This is another one he just made too. This is a pretty nice one here. This will probably be my default Cadillac color for now until I get a livery in here, but I do very much like it. Anyway, let's dive over to career mode. Also, we have a poll going in chat at the moment if you like career mode or not. Career mode hasn't gotten much of a conversation piece from the community, simply because the community is primarily focused on playing multiplayer, which I myself have been a part of. So that being said, I find that right now, currently with the game, the single player experience is more polished. Mainly because of not having to rely on interconnect with other people, which can affect your performance. That's one issue that I know that they're working on, and I believe that they're trying to have that fixed for 2.0. But basically, I'm going to do a terrible job of explaining this from a technical standpoint because I don't fully understand it. And by fully, I mean I barely understand it. But essentially, the performance of your machine, and if you go on the internet with other people, the performance of your machine can affect the performance of other people, which I don't quite understand how that works, but it has been my experience. I'm fortunate enough to be on a PC that's a bit overpowered, and my single-player experience is fantastic. When I get online in a smaller lobby, it's pretty good, but as a lobby starts getting bigger, things start going kind of haywire. It's almost like it feels like as if the server is breaking. I don't fully understand how the server interconnect works because it's peer-to-peer, but it's also not completely reliant on peer-to-peer from my understanding, so it's a little confusing and above my pay grade. And by above my pay grade, I mean I make $0 talking about it, so therefore it is completely in every way above my pay grade. If you understood one fact, you are more qualified than me. Anyway, single player, career mode. Let's just start cranking here. Oh, and we are starting an hour early today, so I was up, I was ready to go, so screw it, here we are. So, let's pick a team name. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory here. And then, I am the driver. Confirm. We are going to do the $650,000 budget because I want to do GT3 right off the rip. We are going to turn it off of Authentic. Sorry if this upsets anybody. We're going to turn it down to 75 for the sake of more of an exploratory experience, I guess you would say. That being said, though, if you don't know the track, the AI at 75% will beat you. Will beat you definitively. So 100%, in my opinion, I'm nowhere near 100% skill in the AI. I feel like I float probably more in the 85 range. We're going to go 75 for the sake of just making it a bit more casual for now. Let's see. Rolling billboard, a traditional sponsor arrangement. You're paid a flat amount per race, and the amount is based. I think I wanted what's the one? Aggressor. Brand covers the full amount of your damage repair expenses, but you agree to provide some sort of ROI by handling them with a portion of your race winnings. A safety net for drivers who are aware of aggressive tendencies or... I like to use this one primarily because anything can happen on the track, and I also don't fully trust the AI to not bin me off the track whenever they have an opportunity. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go EJR Racing. I am EJR, the driver. Aggressor. Sponsorship level is going to be... the starting budget's going to be $650,000. So let's pick a car. I know I want to do GT3, and I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a Simagic car. All right, now let's pick the event. World Tour. Night Edition World Tour, this one here. This is the one I'm going to do. Entry fees $28,000. Championship purse is $1.9 million. That's a lot. What that equates to in the end, I don't know, but we're going to find out. All right, we are officially registered. First race is Spa, then Mount Panorama, then Nürburgring. Is this the 24-hour? Yes, the Grand Prix. No Nordschleife. Oh, you hurt my feelings. You hurt my feelings. We ended Sebring, though. That's a good one. So, Northampton, a.k.a. Silverstone, and... Alright, it's not on here. Perfect. Perfect. Chat's awfully quiet today, folks. I know it's Friday and all, but you could say hi. So far, the chat, we got 7 votes in. Yes is 71%, 29% is no. Let's get into it. Duchess Sky, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Going on, Eagles? Going on, Stu? It's going on, Slick? Going on, Legolas? About time you all said hi. Sheesh. Never know if I'm talking to anybody. I rely on a number counter over here. It says viewers, and I don't trust that number. All right, let's see. So I believe we're in a qualifying session. There's no practice sessions in this, so let me just make sure I have the right... Turn it down one click. Save. All right, let's do some quali. Now, it's my understanding that the longer I let the AI qualify, instead of skipping the session, the faster they're going to get, correct? So it's best to just do a lap, qualify a single lap, and then jump to the next session without letting them continue. Is that correct? For the moment you thought I was doing lobbies. No lobbies today. We're doing some single player today. I would say, Duchess, it's worth picking up. However, opinions vary right now. I am having a boatload of fun with the game. However, 2.0 is on the horizon, supposedly coming out on the 25th, which is a, I don't want to say a reinventing of the game, but a repolish. Oh, that's not how you take El Rouge. There's a lot of game here for full price. I know it's a debate, a point of contention, but every other sim costs way more money. So, I have more money invested in Oh, I forgot I'm on cold tires right now. I'm used to pre-warms. It's been a minute since I actually had to start with cold tires. But, basically, I have more money in every sim. And I play this one the most. Oh, shit. Man, I really got to get used to cold tires. Eagles, did you intentionally leave Nordschleife out of this world tour just because of me? Sorry, AI, but I don't care. I normally fastest on laps 2 through 4. Got it. So I'm going to qualify and then advance the session. I'm going to cheat. Appreciate that, TJ. Thank you. Whoa, cold tires, bite me in the ass. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. That doesn't really matter because that's the outlap anyway. Most people don't like it. Well, most people don't have taste in good tracks, so. Nordschleife is the greatest track ever. But I get it. I'm going to have to pay you, Eagles, to make me my own Grand Tour. Whatever that might take. All my personal favorite tracks. Because I'm a narcissist like that. I mean, I am, you know, not for nothing, using my own livery right now. That's a lie. I like more than 3 tracks. It's like 3 tracks that I don't like, and they're just popular. Like, Interlagos can, like, burn off the face of the planet, and I would be completely, in every way, happier for it. The track, that is. You know, I get a lot of shit for not liking tracks, but my favorite track is the hardest track ever. Maybe I just like creative minds that go into track creation. Like, I know Spa is very popular. It's okay, but honestly, for me, it's kind of boring. Just know that, like, for me, Nordschleife was the perfect track. Alright. Where am I falling on quali? Okay, pole, perfect. Let's advance the session. Return to pit. Next. Look at that. Look at that. I cheated. I didn't let the AI finish. Hey, it was a one-lap quali as far as I'm concerned. One-lap quali. That's how I like to do my qualifications, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't have a lot of patience for, like, you know, the guys who do, like, an hour of qualifying, like, in real life. I get it. That's real, but I'm good. Let's get to the race. All right, so I got pole. I'm going to need it. Comments here. Nords is rough, but definitely the most fun once you get used to it. It's my personal favorite track, and I don't, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know what it would take for someone to change my opinion on that. I don't think it's possible, if I'm being honest with you. I slightly agree and I slightly disagree about the GT3's, Sky, because it's too popular to not have. By them just existing in this game, even if they're not the cars that are desirable, you're going to bring players to the game. That's why the LMDHs were kind of like shoehorned in at the last minute. That's why GT3s are in it, despite this being more of a love letter to car guys with the classic cars. That being said, though, when I stream GT3 stuff, it does the best for me. At the end of the day, Group C is much cooler to me, but nobody cares about Group C outside of, like, the minutia of people. Yeah, I mean, AMS2 is the content king. If we're going to compare sims for a second, AMS2 is the absolute best sim, period, on the planet when it comes to content. So I'm more of like why are some of these other sims more popular than this game? I understand this game has some problems, but they all do when they launch. That's the part I don't understand. This game has followed the typical cycle of all of the sims, except there's more content at launch than all of the other sims. The only mistake they did was in their marketing on what it was going to be on release. Other than that, nothing has been different about the release cycle. The game releases, and it's been getting patched and getting better and better and better. All the sims that have been around for years are still getting patches to become better and better and better. You know? But that being said, though, there are some cool cars on the docket for this game that are going to entice some people. I can tell you that once the GT500s come out, if they're executed well, I'm never going to drive GT3s again. GT500s are going to be all that I drive. GT500s are like just a ballistically fast version of a GT3 car with no assists. Oh boy, icy cold tires. Good luck me. Soft seam is out. Yeah, GT500s are, yeah, they're fast. I can't wait to have them. By the end of this month, I think we're going to have a pretty solid foundation here. Here's the thing, though, in full transparency, you should not expect 2.0 to fix every problem and add every feature you've ever wanted in a sim. Like, don't set the bar high again. Oh my god, cold tires. This guy in this Porsche is fast by comparison to the rest. Eagles, what tracks are randomized weather? Are they all randomized? DTMs are good. DTMs are very good. First three and the last three, got it. What are the middle tracks? What's the weather there? Yeah, Porsche is driving away from me. Curiosity Eagles, are the winners like the fastest AI? Are they randomized? Or is it always like the same person who's the fastest? Because if, like, for example, if that Porsche is the same Porsche every race, it's most likely going to win this championship. Unless it's randomized. Almost drove off the track looking at chat. Mostly pretty random, got it. What tracks, because I just realized I didn't pay attention to fuel again. What tracks am I going to need more fuel on? I don't care about less fuel. That's not a big deal to me. I'm not trying to make the car go as fast as possible through taking fuel out of it and all that stuff. I don't care. I'm just playing the game. But what tracks am I going to run out of fuel? Or me be asking you that be cheating? Gotcha. Gotcha. I need some, like, really saturated heat tires to catch this Porsche. I don't think it's going to happen. I have to slow down way too much in a Rouge to not get a track limit right there. Tires are just way too cold. Looks like this Lambo wants my ass for dinner. You back off, Lambo. You back off. If a Lambo had a horn, he would honk at me. How rude. I might skip qualifying on the next track just to drive through people. I don't really care if I win this or not. I'm just kind of playing it. But I would like to do more racing with cars. And the back of the pack's obviously going to be much slower to give me something to do. Whereas right here, I'm just staring at the back of a Porsche, trying to avoid a Lamborghini the whole time. That was risky. Okay, that Porsche is just getting further and further away. You son of a bitch. I'm in danger. Oh no! How did I fuck that up? Son of a bitch. Yeah, Race Room has the best DTMs. I just cannot put a lap together on Spa. You know what? Let's do this. I can't. I cannot put a lap together on Spa. I have yet to do it. I don't care. Judge me on the line. Do not care. Oh, look, the next Lambo's working. Why are the Lambos so damn fast in this game? I just want to drive the car I want to drive and not worry about some other car being faster. I'd have no interest in driving that Lambo whatsoever. But it's the fast car. Let's see if I can instantly put up a faster lap now with the line. I will say it is frustrating that the AI just gets faster the whole time, it seems. So, like, how do you know what to pick for AI difficulty when the AI just gets faster every single lap? I'm more interested in AI balancing than their etiquette. It's crazy how much I need the line on spa still. It really it is. I don't know what it is about, like, that, like, 40-year mark, but I just cannot learn things like I used to. What's the opposite of a sponge? A rock? Because I think that's what I am. Fuck off! I will say, though, 8 laps to me feels like an eternity on Spa. That's how much of, like, someone who likes sprint racing and how much I don't like endurance racing in general. Like, 8 laps is like, God, this is a long-ass race. And I know it's not. But, like, I'm ready to move on to the next thing now. And I have been. 5 laps on Spa for me is like, all right, it's a long race. Don't care. I'm just going to merge out. I really don't care. I mean, that's a genuine online experience. There's just no etiquette. Online, in AI, nothing. They will just crash you when an opportunity arises. $219. Lamborghini. That Lamborghini that was in third place for a while there drove around the Porsche and then just kept going. Lamborghinis are too, like... I'm going to have to play with a Lamborghini. That's the reality of the situation. It's ridiculous. That drives me nuts. That makes me want to start over and pick the Lamborghini, honestly. Just knowing how much faster the AI is with the Lamborghinis. And people, I guess. You know what? I'm going to back out of this for a second. I want to try something here. Let's see. Let's see some stuff here. What's a good test track? Going on, Howling Brown. What's a good test track for cars? For just general lap times. I just want to see. if I can go faster with certain cars. Let's try Sebring for a bit. So let me get in a Lamborghini. Let me pick a nice livery here. Sebring is your test track. Doesn't matter. Let's go with this one. Oh, I'm so bad on the Nerve GP, though. That's the only problem. I wouldn't be able to, like, actually compare on that track myself before spending some real time on Nerve GP to yeah. Alright, so hold on. Vehicle setup. Let's get this squared away. Save. Have a good one, Stu. Thanks for being here. Alright, let's see. By the way, that it doesn't turn the pit limiter off. I've reinstalled the game. Don't understand. Completely random. Interesting. Maybe that's it. That's interesting, Slick. Yeah, because I couldn't find the consistency because those sliders by themselves do nothing. I don't know what those sliders do, honestly. The auto pit limiter and stuff. Nothing seems auto about it. If you have it bound, you have full control the whole time. This feels like a bit of a hybrid of the AMG and the Corvette. Interesting. I'll have to try deselecting it. Dual 1.0. Dual 1.1. That ain't a good start. All right, see, there's our 159 if I just run the same lap, but I probably will mess it up. Going on, ETR. I had a half second off, but blew it. There's our 159. We've tied our best. 159.7 has been my fastest so far. Keep losing the time. Fuck you! God damn it! That was easily going to be my fastest lap on this track. This car is definitely faster, unfortunately. I had a half second off right there before I spun out, and the way I was coming in that turn, if I didn't lose the rear end, that probably would have shaved a little bit more time off. Oh, man. I'm pretty confident I can get a 158 out of this car with my driving in complete default form. I've never gone 159. I've never gone 159 at all in the vet. I've only gone 159 one time in the AMG. This car is definitely a bit quicker than at least what I've tested so far. Nothing here. Remote is awesome. I'm playing since nobody's on ranked mode anymore. Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, a lot of people are just waiting for this game to get, like, a solid refresh. Because it needs it. It does. It's, there's so much good here, but if no one's... First of all, the interconnect stuff needs to get worse. Everything needs to get sort of tweaked, right? Some things need to get, like, really tweaked. Other things need small tweaks. But how do you make the game appeal to more people? Because at the end of the day... If you're looking for an online experience, you need people to play it. You know? At least in the... Like, for me, Gran Turismo 7 did such a great job in the single-player side of things. I, believe it or not, never played Gran Turismo 7 in ranked play. Not a single race. I only would go online and race my friends or play the single-player. Now, I don't ever see this game having the single-player of Gran Turismo 7. It just can't. It can't have the money behind it like that. But it could definitely be more of a reason to play it. That's for sure. I don't like how fast this Lambo is, though. It's not like it's night and day faster, but like when you are pretty much approaching a limit, and then there's a car that's faster, like so far, my order of cars that I like driving are the Corvette, the Lambo so far. I haven't driven enough of it yet, but like that's the thing. I don't drive this car. And inside of 3 laps, I tied my absolute best on Sebring, and I had a half second off in my 4th lap there before I lost the rear end because I was pushing just a little bit too hard, trying to get greedy. And I don't drive the car. That tells me right there that the car's faster. How much faster? It would require someone who's better than me to really be able to pull that kind of information out of it. But based off what Eagles has been telling me through all of his modding and testing and stuff like that, the Lambo is always the fastest AI. And what you saw in my half a race right there that I foobarred at the end, the Porsche was way out in front, and the Lambo was behind me for like at least 50% of the race. And then the Lambo drove its way to first place relatively quickly, and it did it by, I think, what was its fastest lap, by 3 seconds. The AI goes the fastest with the Lambo. So at least from an AI standpoint, the Lambo needs a nerf. From a player standpoint, let me get back in the AMG and see what it takes for me to run what I just ran in the Lambo. So 159.7 is the target here. And see how many laps it takes for me to do it. I drive this car a lot more than I drive the Lambo. Like a lot more. Because I really don't drive the Lambo at all. So, let's see what it takes to... Oh, hold on. Before we do that, let's test what you were saying about the key binding. Pit limiter toggle. What is it to unbind it? X. Save. Now let's just, I'm curious, without turning off the auto pit or anything like that, I want to see if it lets me, if it'll do anything now. No shit. So I don't think it even matters in the settings. What are my settings on? Yeah, pit limiter's authentic. So force on, save, return to pit. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if it's bound or not. The only thing that matters is if it's bound. The setting doesn't do anything. This setting does nothing. Pit limiter force on versus authentic. Literally does nothing. Interesting. Huh. Well, okay. Am I liking the wheelbase? I'm loving the wheelbase, honestly. It, in my opinion, sort of makes the Pro a bad buy. If you can afford the extra $270, that is. It, from an efficiency standpoint and from a feature standpoint, it makes the Pro kind of need to be cheaper, in my opinion. If they drop the price of the Pro like $50, I mean, realistically, they drop it $100, but I think that's a bad idea from a financial standpoint. However, to equal the efficiency of this one, it needs to be $600. But $650, I think, is should be what they drop the price of the Pro to, in my opinion. They probably won't. Probably won't. Bet it wouldn't work in Group C. Well, let me try one thing. I want to try re-entering the pit and see if it automatically puts the limiter back on or not. I want to enter the pit next lap, and I want to see if this turns it back on. So my thought process here is when I enter the pit, is the pit limiter going to come back on automatically? Because so far it has nothing to do with leaving the pit. I just like driving this car better too. That's the thing. Mercedes just drives good. I like the AMG. All right, let's approach the pit and see what happens here. Pit limiter active. So it's 60 miles an hour. Interesting. So let's do it again. Let's try this. Turn it off. Because if, like, taking off the bind fixes the auto thing, I'm lazy, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to have to... I'm not chasing some crazy level of authenticity where I need to turn my pit limiter on and off when I'm leaving the... Just put, like, I'm... driving through on your own without automated control is enough of a simulation, in my opinion. I don't want to feel like hitting a button. So honestly, if I don't have to pit... Like, see, that's nice. I like that. It just goes. I don't have to worry about it. So let's see what happens now next lap. It's just weird that the keybind is what controls its functionality. you would think the setting would do all of it. You'd set it to authentic. So basically, you bind the key, and then if you have it forced on, it turns it on and turns it off automatically. That's what I would imagine it should do. When you run it authentic, you have full control of the pit limiter because it's bound to your key. But it's weird how just the keybind invalidates that setting altogether. Oh shit, not paying attention. If you're not under 35 miles, well, I'll do the same thing again. We're good. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. Just hit under 35. Find out. Still comes on. Interesting. Doesn't matter for this car. Let's try another car. This has got my curiosity more than the point of this stream. I'll be honest with you. Let's try Group C. We've talked about it. Oh, other direction. No, where am I going here? Right there. I knew it was in there. I haven't driven this car in a minute. We need more Group C love, man. Where's all the liveries? Man. No love for the old cars. Alright, so what are we on? Let's put it back to authentic. Oh, it's on authentic. So it turned itself off. Oh, it's been a minute since I've driven one of these things. These things upshift like shit with the paddle. They upshift so good with the H pattern. Listen to the upshift with the paddle. Now listen to it with the H pattern. Do you hear the difference? Night and day. It's so weird. Listen to it again with the paddle. Now with the H pattern. Not even close. Oh no. I gotta fix that. That is an issue with the H pattern on the Simagics. The loose wire inside. Alright, let's try it. Pit limiter enabled. I mean, I would imagine if there's going to be a car that doesn't have it, it would be Group C, no? Maybe group 5? All right, so it says group 5 does not, according to Google, does not use a pit limiter. I gotta take my H pattern apart. That's annoying. It is a known issue. Eagles, if you might find that there's an internal wire inside the H pattern that, like, I don't know if it's janky or what, but yes, that was authentic. Authentic's going to eliminate the pit limiter. If there's gonna be a setting that does something, Authentic is going to eliminate it. Yep. So group 5 does not work. So let's try this. Let's go back to our forced on and see if forced on does it. Yeah. So it works on group 5 the way you'd think. So apparently group C has pit limiters. Well, I'm just gonna leave it on. That way I'm not so confused about it. I'm not binding it. I would rather have it automatically turn off when I leave the pits because I'm lazy and I just don't want to hit the button. And if unbinding it means that's how you fix it, well then that means I can't turn it on or off for the other cars anyway. Because they're not there, so I don't know. To me, see, I'm lazy. I'd rather just not have it bound and just never use it. It's a pit limiter. You know, if the line pisses people off, I imagine no one's going to care about the pit limiter. That was sarcasm. Alright, let's go back to what I was doing before. Try the AMG. Alright, let's actually go for a lap now here. Do we know if we can pick the default screen for the DigiDash? Because I want it to start on my tires. Do we know if that's a possibility or no? Numbered. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to simplify the display. That's the whole point. I don't want to have all this clutter of... I am an empty HUD guy. I don't like a bunch of information the whole time. I only want the important information, so... I've tried eliminating the pages, but the problem is you can't set up your pit if you need a pit. So you need those. Like, I don't have the map. I don't have the virtual mirror on. I have radar on. One in 59.6, first lap. That's good, because I don't want to use the Lambo. I like the AMG. Off that limiter. Lost it all. Lost it all. All right, it's pretty clear that the AMG and the Merc, to me, from my driving ability anyway, are very comparable, but I have no attachment to the Mercedes. I like the Mercedes. I don't really care for the AMG. But let's try one more time the same thing with the Corvette. And this is better than working from home on a Friday than watching a PMR stream. I'm glad I can be your mulligan. Or your Huckleberry, not mulligan. Yeah, see this, I will say with the Vet, it doesn't have the grip. Not anymore anyway. It did in 1601. For 1.7, what they changed with these GT3s, the Vet just does not work well in default form anymore. It starts to lose grip and it doesn't seem to re-grip up like the AMG and the Lambo do. And I think that's my problem with it, because even the front end feels very wishy-washy in this car right now. I can't push the Vet at the pace I can push the Lambo and the AMG. I can't. It's too loose. All stock. What's going on, KH? Can't do it. That's annoying. Let's see if we have the braking issue we had yesterday. 'Cause I don't know if you guys remember when I was hosting lobbies yesterday morning. Or mid-afternoon, whatever. This car was hopping bad on braking. And I was saying that it doesn't... It doesn't seem like it's consistent. '25th, supposedly, KH. Look at that. 0 hop right there. Let's see what happens when the tires get warmer. Because if this car doesn't hop, skip, and bump and do all sorts of weird shit, then I also can put that on whatever the server bullshit is. It's so weird. Let's see if I can get it to do that. Very good, ETR. Yeah, that RS looks, that's funny that Amazon leaked it, of all things. When the car starts like bucking real bad under like braking while downshifting to the point where you can't control the car. Is that what you're referring to, dummies? Like, dude, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But yesterday when I was on stream, if I was doing that online, it'd go wab wab wab, and the whole car would be like losing control, and I couldn't stop. The whole car was like airborne per downshift. It was very weird. I think it's related to the internet. I did also do a fresh install last night too. I mean, like, I deleted every folder. I saved my mod folder, but I deleted everything else. Deleted the game, deleted the My Games folder, deleted the Steam folder. Obviously, this is all PC-related stuff. So the game had 0 files in the computer left. And I reinstalled the game, and I do that every once in a while anyway. Because I'm constantly swapping files around and shit. Testing things, all sorts of other shit. So it does, every once in a while, I feel like the game does get kind of corrupt. So I just reinstall it. But this feels fantastic right now. This feels like incredible to drive this car. Like the AMG speaks to me when I drive it. At least in version 1.7. That'll probably change, if I had to guess, as all updates seem to constantly keep tweaking cars and rotating what I like driving the best. Here's the thing, though. I run all default setups, dummies. So as far as being related to setups, it's not that. 100% not that. Because it was doing it bad yesterday, to the point where I was on Monza, specifically, where I, like, could not drive the car with how much it was hopping under braking. And then here we are on Monza again in a solo practice session. 0 of it's happening. If I just hit the brakes... Nothing. That's just brakes to the floor right there. I really believe it's online. I really believe it's online, which sucks because I don't trust the online experience at all. Stops so good. It just stops. Interesting. I need a G Fuel. Alright. What do we want to do next? Do we want to jump back into career mode and just use the Mercedes? Because the Vet ain't it. That's just for sure. The Vet's just not it right now. Much as I like the Vet, 1.7 made it kind of suck, at least in default form. I'm sure someone could set it up to make it work better. I'm too lazy, guys. I'll make a G Fuel quick. All right. What do we want to do next, folks? I want to see something quick. I've heard he does. I've heard he does. Problem is they're going to change again next update. I can almost guarantee it. I know. I'm trying to do something quick here. I want to get rid of my avatar here. He annoys me. Let's do something interesting. So for now, let's quit. All right. Here we go. Replace the files in the destination. Done. What did I just do? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Avatar. Bye-bye. Damn you, PC. Exactly. PC is life. I love computers. I really do. But that's also inherently part of the problem with this game right now. You do that for almost everything. And, you know. That's why there's like the reports of people cheating and stuff like that. That's how do you think they do it? What I just did, except I eliminated an avatar just now. He's gone. Watch when I go to the driver profile. He gone. All right, let's start. We're gonna do the same thing we just did before. We're gonna do a little differently though. We're gonna start a new career. We're gonna do the same thing, but oh god, I gotta type again. Damn glove life. We're gonna do this too. We're going to shorten the races because I want to kind of blast through them a little bit faster. Because you know me, sprint racer. So we're going to do a World Tour sprint style. We're going to be Verstappen in it. All right. Oh, God. Burned immediately. Hey, this Mustang is on slicks. Screw it, we're just going from the back. I don't care. just want to get the racing in. Ah, leave TC6. Go, baby, go! I like the sun and the blue skies pushing through the cloudy rain. Look how slow the back of the pack is by comparison to the front. Excuse me, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I know. I'm just going to deal with it, though. It is an experience. It's not unfun. Just harder. It's different. My God. Oh yeah, I did notice it is raining inside the car. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I would have never actually noticed that if you hadn't pointed it out. That's funny. Game's work in progress. Uh-oh. This reminds me somewhat of Gran Turismo 7 in the snow. It's obviously got way more grip than that, but I'm saying, like, the challenge aspect of it, like, it's a matter of just getting used to things and breaking yourself of the mold of, like, what it's like to have actual dry grip. It's gonna get optimized everywhere, all the way around. It's just gonna take time. Don't expect, like, I expect 2.0 to look better, but how much it moves the needle, I have no idea, you know? But look how much better graphically this game has gotten in the time since it's been released. I expect that to continue, like, over time, you know? But as much as, like, they are putting a little bit of hype on 2.0, which I think they need to do, don't expect 2.0 to fix everything wrong with the game. Because else you're setting yourself up for disappointment, in my opinion. Pick your favorite sim, and I know on console it's a harder thing to do because they're just not really on console, but, like, look at everybody, like, looks at LMU like LMU's this game that's incredible and it has no problems. It has all sorts of problems. It is in no way a finished game, but it's actively being updated, supported, and so on and so forth. It just happens to be popular. But, like, popular doesn't mean it doesn't have problems. Realistically, in today's video game climate, more than anything, it just means it got lucky. Like, look at High Guard, for example. Nothing about High Guard was bad, other than it was the same game introduced into a climate of games that already existed like that. And it was the new guy. What's the point of abandoning my game that I have all my time into to go play this other game that's the exact same game from an IP I've never heard of? Got very unlucky. A month later, the game is taken offline like it never happened. Imagine putting all those years into work and creating something for it to get completely removed like it never existed. That's a scary video game space, in my opinion. Because even if you made a bad game back in the 90s, and even the 2000s, earlier 2000s, you at least had, like, a hard copy to go back and play. Now, when a digital game gets removed from existence, it's like it never happened. That was one of the things in the Kevin Ballin interview that I really liked. He's like, he paused for a minute and they asked him, he's like, he talked about Project Cars 2, and he's like, it was officially, or Project Cars was officially taken offline. And he's like, you know, imagine 15 years of your life has now been removed and it's gone. You know, that's the reality of the video game space these days. I know I just went off on a wild tangent right there, but apparently the AI is worse in the rain than they are on the dry pavement. Because I'm kicking their ass right now. But on dry pavement, I got nothing for them. Have I posted a lap yet? I think every one of my laps has been invalidated. That's true. That's a good point, Slick. That's a very good point. It's quite possible that the cars are just not well put together, and water is actually getting into the cabin, and it is normal. Even though it clearly looks like raindrops from the, as if it doesn't have a roof on it. Not all the rain's getting in, to be fair. Not all of it. Just some of it. Maybe someone went nutso with like a hole saw on the roof. And there's like 5-inch holes placed all over the hood, and it's just making it in through there. Maybe that's what's happening. I know hype is a thing when making a game. It's important, but I just go back in time and I think, there's all sorts of ways to, like, retcon the situation that PMR was put into. But at the end of the day, I don't even complain about the release of it. If they just didn't say what they said about the game to launch it. Because the release date of the game was not very good, but it was totally acceptable as an early access game. I've played this game the whole time, and it's gotten better and better and better, but I've never not been enjoying it. I shouldn't say I've never not been enjoying it. There's been moments where I hated it, but, like, on average, my experience with the game has been good from release to now. And I feel like a lot of people, because with respect to the game space, they are lemmings and they can't think for themselves, but a lot of the lemmings would have given the game more of a fair shake if the game was just released as early access. I wouldn't even complain about the price. I know a lot of people say, oh, the game should be cheaper. Well, yes, you could make that argument, sure, but at the same point, if you advertised the game as an early access, but it was full release price because you're never going to get charged again or something like that, I'd be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, you would have to make the financial decision of, well, the game is $60 instead of $30 or an early access price, but it's early access advertised. You at least know what you're getting when you pay for it. So it's on you. If they charge too much for the game, but they advertise the game honestly, that's 100% on you to spend that money, and if you regret that purchase or not. But you were told what the game was. However, charging full price and saying the game was more polished than it was, that was the ultimate mistake, in my opinion. But I earned $825. I mean, I guess that's probably a pretty good payout, for an individual race for 4 laps in real life. Probably pretty good. Admittedly, I don't know what GT3 drivers make. But I know I got 21 points. You know why? You know why I got 21 points? Because I'm in the Verstappen livery. What's going on, Grumps? The Dave Cam fanboys are hilarious. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, to Dave Cam, not the fanboys, everybody, no matter who you are, if you have a social media space where you have followers and you get popular enough, everybody, no matter how good or bad they are as a personality on social media, is going to get the brain dead fanboys that can't think and just regurgitate whatever their favorite person says, no matter what. So, I'm sure right now, I know at least in the motorcycle world there are, but obviously I'm much smaller on YouTube than I am in, say, my professional space, in quotes. But there are people that, like, will die on the hill for me. And I tell them not to do that because it's like, stay independent. It's one thing to defend me if someone attacks me. It's another thing to just, like, blindly follow me no matter what I do. And people will do that no matter what. Everybody will always have, if you are in a public space of any kind, as a business, social media presence, whatever it is, you will always develop followers that have this, like, parasocial sort of relationship with you where they want to be your best friend. And they don't even, realistically, you guys don't even know each other. But they're just such a fan of you, like, you can do no wrong to them. And you never, ever, ever want to be like that. You want to hold your favorite person, whoever that person is, accountable. Always. If they say something stupid, be like, yo, yeah, that's kind of stupid. Shouldn't have said that. Just got your plates. What I know you told me already, but I completely forgot because my brain. Oh, for the ASR. Gotcha. Hell yeah, good job. I have my second set of P700s from Simagic coming in today because the first set were. So they work, but so the P700s they interconnect with telephone wire or RJ45 wire, and one of the wires in packaging, and it was done in packaging, not in shipping, was pinched in between where the. So if you push on the pedal, like let's say this is the base of the pedal, this is the pedal, and you do this and pivot it on the shaft. Well, one of the wires, the telephone wires, the RJ45 wires, got pinched in that pedal being retracted, and the wire's not broken, it still functions, but I have no faith that with any extensive use that one of those wires is not going to split, and it's the brake pedal. So they sent me a new one that I've been waiting on because technically the embargo on those comes out the 19th, where I get to review them. I will say if you're on PC, so I have P1000 pedals, which are technically a higher tier than the new pedals that are coming out. They're more of a mid tier. But I will say the new products that Simagic's releasing are really making their old products look bad financially. So they're probably going to have to reevaluate their product stacks on how much they charge for things. Because I will say, and what I've experienced with their new pedals so far, without giving away anything, what they cost, what they're going to cost, because they're not on the market yet, versus what you're getting, it's a hard sell to buy anything that costs more, honestly. Because you're not going to get this, like, crazy experience difference for the very, very high dollar amount increase in the stack. So yeah, load cell's solid. Load cell is definitely solid. I would say you're on the Fanatec ecosystem, so let me look up quick here, because I don't know the Fanatec's pedals as well as I know their bases. I believe it's the Club Sport V3s. Damn though, man, their shit's just expensive. Are the CSL Elite V2s, are they load cells? I mean, I'm sure I can look that up in a matter of seconds. Yeah, it's a load cell. I just don't like the look of them. They just look cheap. These. These are supposedly pretty good pedals. They're pretty expensive for what they are. But the problem that I have with these things is they just look cheap as shit. I know they went for like a murdered out sort of like blends in aesthetic, but I'm sorry, I don't like that look. It just doesn't look like it's quality. It might be really good. I've never used it, but it just doesn't look, honestly, I like their Club Sports, which are admittedly $100 more, but I like these pedals. And these pedals, the other ones, could arguably be just as good. And if they had just given some like contrasting colors and separation and stuff and made, like, for example, the Fs on the pedals be a polished surface finish, things like that would make it look so much more appealing. Like, see how these in here, the chamfered holes are polished? That wouldn't look as good as if that was also anodized in there. But it's separation. It looks good. But as far as the driving experience, if I had to guess, these are probably no less of a good experience than these. But yeah. The podium pedals look, I'm not going to lie, I'm on the Simagic setup here, but I run everything through a hub anyway. Those podium pedals, those new podium pedals, those look good. They look good. Hold on. Come on, just show me a good picture of them without me having to dig. Like, this is the best picture I can find off rip, but, like, that looks good. Like, I know you only your feet sit on them and you just push them, but, like, they take a good picture. They take a damn good picture. And I think the P1000s are a damn nice-looking pedal set. But when I saw these at the Expo, I was like... I mean, the good thing is I'm on PC, so I can run those pedals and it not affect anything else. I can just buy those pedals and use those on my rig, and I don't have to worry about it, like, plugging it into my bass or anything like that. Because right now, even my current pedals, they're not plugged into my bass. They're plugged right into my computer. So all of my devices are independently plugged in, so I can control them separately. These things look amazing. You can get these in the Formula setup, too, where they, there's only 2 of them. Yeah, right here. Like that. I like the cups. I like this a lot to hold your feet in place. I've considered doing the hydraulic upgrade to my brake on my P1000s, but at the same time, something about fluid. I know it's only hydraulic fluid, but something about just worrying about something leaking, I'm just not cool with, you know? Anyway, that's me and my Simagic affiliation glazing another company's product, because all is fair in love and war. I don't know, guys. I don't think I can afford the cost of repairing this car right now. Alright, are we going to get some dry weather on Panorama or what? That's what's great about being on PC. You can selectively buy your parts. There's really not a lot of stuff, though. You know? You have the wheelbase, you've got the wheel, you got the pedals, and you have shifters if you have them. Other than that, that's the end of the ecosystem, you know? Oh, full transparency. Right now, if you're chasing, like, a big power wheelbase... Like, I would say you don't really need to go past 18. 18's going to get you the full immersion experience, like, of every possible scenario. Even 15, even 10, you know? But if you were in the market for the bigger bases, honestly, the price of the Ultra that I have here makes the 18 Newton meter Pro base feel like a bad purchase by comparison. Honestly, for under $1,000 base right now, I don't think this base has a competitor. I don't even think it's close, if I'm being honest with you. The Pro, I think Moza has a... Mind you, I haven't used the Moza, so I don't know... I can't compare it from, like, a features and details and all that. I can just compare overall force feedback range, cost. That's all I can do. But those two metrics alone right there, the Moza has a better deal than the Pro. So I really think the Pro needs to come down in price. But the Ultra, clean sweeps. Nobody compares. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I want to race from the back. I'm having more fun racing from the back, if I'm being completely honest with you. Let me use the bathroom quick, and then we're just going to skip to the next... Actually, I can just do that now. Turn to pit. Next. Of course, the Lamborghini. Oh, no, never mind. It's the Vet. They put the Vet in the front. Those sons of bitches. Oh, that's what I'm doing right now, Grumps, is one of Eagle's modded careers. One of the more simpler ones, though, just to get a feel for it, because I haven't really done career yet. I'll be right back. All right. They're also sending me some gloves because these are the XXLs, and they're just too big. They're comfortable as shit, but from a achieving better grip standpoint, they're actually worse than using my bare hands. So I got 2 sizes coming because I actually don't know. Like, there's quite a bit of slack here. Yes, sir. I do have liveries for the vet now. I'm working on getting liveries for this the AMG too, because as much as I like the vet in real life, I don't think it drives nearly as good as this AMG does. Oh, baby. Like, you want... Here's the thing, and I know I've said it, I know I've trashed LMU, and I'm not trying to, but it just keeps happening that way, because the reason why is because, in my personal opinion, I think LMU is a worse game, and it's far more popular. It's a worse game in the sense of the game itself. Obviously, it's more polished. But if PMR, with no extra features whatsoever, was just more polished, in my opinion, the games don't even compare. They're not even close. PMR is a way better game. Way more content, way more things to do, way more flushed out. But the mob dictates what's good and what's bad in the video game space, and that's what I fucking hate about video games. Anyway, you can't have custom liveries without paying a monthly charge in LMU. I'm just saying. Developers at 397 have to make that decision, or at least their publisher does, which I don't know who publishes for them, but I think, are they self-published? I'd have to look that up. But the point is that somebody made the decision to charge people a monthly cost for a subscription. You have an entry-level free subscription, then you have 2 tiers of expensive or paid subscriptions. They hid custom liveries behind the paywall. We all know how people are with their skins, right? They knew what they were doing. They Call of Duty'd that shit. They microtransactioned the shit out of that. Because everybody wants their own liveries, they want their own skins, they want to put their own, customization on what they're doing. And they put it behind a paywall. To me, that's an asshole move. Anyway, that's enough LMU bashing for the day. There's a lot of good in LMU. I want them to make the game better, but I believe in making things better through criticism, not just glazing it and say it's fantastic. LMU needs to make their system be more friendly to casuals. I mean, I don't need to do these things. I'm saying they need to do these things to make their game bigger, more broader, and more welcoming for everybody to play. Because at the end of the day, you want everybody to play your game. You can cater to the niche, but give people the opportunity to experience it in an easier-to-do fashion. You should, like right now, LMU, I'm stuck in garbage lobbies with garbage drivers, and I have to get through that bullshit to get to somewhat decent racing, and I don't have the patience for that. I'd rather just play something else. I'm not a fast driver, but I do believe in not destroying somebody else's race for the benefit of a position. And that's not what bronze is in LMU. Bronze is disgusting. Ooh, this is good. This looks good right now. All right, here we go. AI time. No, I'm at 75% grumps. That word authentic means nothing to me. It's all fake. Everything in the video game is fake. So the word authentic means literally nothing to me. If I have to slow the AI down to make it fun to compete, then that's what I'm going to do. I don't know where that guy's going. Yo, bro, pick a lane. Oh. The problem that I have with the AI in the game right now is I don't think it scales. I mean, I guess if you consider Max Verstappen, then maybe it does scale accurately. But, like, the back of the pack in the AI is way too slow for how fast the front of the pack is. Like, it's like the front of the pack are all Verstappens, and the back are all EJRs. There's just no consistency whatsoever. You know? Like, for example, look how easily I'm flying by these guys. And then in the other one I just did, the number one place AI was like 4 seconds faster than me per lap. At 75%. And the back of the pack is like, what, 6 to 8 seconds slower than me? That's way too much of a range in lap times. But anyway. Here we go. I'm not worried about it because I know they'll eventually get it there. But at the end of the day, I have to play the game that's in front of me, not play to hypotheticals that might come in the future, you know? But I will say the offline experience feels amazing by comparison to the online experience. Knowing the physics is being generated by my computer and not some other dude on a PS5 across the country, affecting my game's performance. Whoa! Oh, nice dive bomb, asshole. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. Enjoy the wall. Piece of shit. Oh, why? Why? What the fuck? What's going on? Oh, man. AI, you're funny. I'd still rather deal with the AI doing this, because I don't feel guilty when I hit the AI. I feel guilty if I hit a real player. Like that. I don't give a shit. Get out of my way. Has there been any more teased information about when Rensport is delivering their update? Because Rensport's bringing some good cars. Some classics. And I'll admit, I'm excited for that. Rensport still needs to bring custom lobbies, though. Rensport is too casual of a game and too small of a game to not have custom lobbies. LMU can kind of get away with it because they're catering to the diehard sim racing mob. And those guys are just used to having to pay for servers and shit like that. In my opinion, if Rensport tries to be LMU, it's never going to work. They need to deliver somewhat of like an LMU-ish experience, but for casuals. Because LMU's never going to do it. LMU's, unfortunately, they're only going to cater to the mob. And the mob is the sim racers, the diehard sim racers. That's their mob. The iRacers. I know this month, Fway. Jesus. You know, Fway, I like you a lot, but sometimes you answer in the most broadest possible way. What was the other one I asked? What the day it was or some... What's the date? I don't even remember. I was looking for more specific answer than that way, but thank you for your participation. I'm gonna punish you on Nords tonight, just because of it. Hey, look at the front. Look at the front of the pack right now. He's got 14 seconds on me. He just put a second on me in those turns right there. It doesn't make any sense. The AI is so unbalanced from a talent standpoint. Apparently, I can only beat them in the rain. Oh, come on. So I have oil on my windshield. That's interesting. From a side swipe. Oh, shit. Even at 75%, the AI is untouchable. That's insane. That's what I'm talking about, though. I drove around the back of the pack like they were just... I don't even know. And then the front of the pack is just gapping me. And now, if this is supposed to be like some real-life experience, in my opinion, wouldn't you think that all of the racers are a little closer together? They're all professionals. They all know what they're doing. It's not the online where you're playing against random people who have all sorts of experience. This is supposed to be like an authentic-ish style racing experience where I feel like I'm racing the same class of people. You know, nothing about it feels like I'm racing the same people. In my opinion, the AI is modeled after real people. The way they dive bomb, the way they drive, the way the spread is from front to back. It feels like a genuine online experience. So in that case, they're actually really, really, really accurate. So let's see. My best lap was 2:05.5. Third place in the Lamborghini. The AI is the fastest in the Lamborghini. Eagles, you've done a whole lot of experience with a whole lot of experimenting, I should say, with the AI. Why is the AI so fast in the Lamborghini? Because you're the one who told me that first, and ever since you told me that, I've been paying attention to it. Look at the lap times. The AMG is second to it. But damn. At 75% AI, that last lap was fairly decent. 2:05.5. Not fast, but decent. And at 75%, which the AI for the most part is relatively easy, 1.1 seconds faster than me. Pretty simple. The Lambo has too much power. With blue flag in the last 2 or 3 weeks by the end of the day, yeah. Ran 2:07 the other day here and you were so happy. That's my point. If you went 2:07, the 75% AI just went 2.5 seconds faster than you. On Nords, it's like 10 to 15 seconds faster than the slower cars in the class. That's insane. Guy in their Discord says end of March for Rensport, probably around the time 2.0 comes out. Got it. Well, we're going to have plenty of content. That excites me, because right now, as much as like I do enjoy sim racing, it feels really stale right now. I don't know why. Because there's a lot of things to do in general through all the sims. But it just feels like I'm getting the same experience from everything, and it all gets fatiguing. PMR, it's ironic though. Like, I mean, this is how, in my opinion, how I know PMR, even though it's been a rough start, has kind of struck gold. PMR, through all of its problems right now, is the only one that I really want to play. Like, the only one that, like, when I have to lie, AMS2 is up there as well. But, like, AMS2 is up there because of their different variations in cars. If you limited AMS2 to what's available in PMR, I wouldn't care about playing AMS2 anymore. The driving experience isn't nearly as good. A lot of things aren't nearly as good. The overall polish is better, but that's just a time thing. This will get there too. But, like, that's how I know they've struck gold. Even though right now it's the most problematic game, and it's been being dialed in, but it's still the most problematic one right now. It's the only one that I want to play. So clearly, they've got something figured out. And when Kevin Bolin says that they think they had it, you know, before the 1.0 release, and then how things went wrong and all that stuff, maybe they had their blinders on, you know? Because I do believe that happens. They were in their own personal honeymoon stage of the game, where they figured out something that they really liked. But it wasn't ready to be presented to the world. They needed to spend more time on it, to just dial things in and refine things. But now we're getting to that, and I'm feeling it and I'm seeing it, and it's why it's the only game I want to play. When I'm off stream, I think about, what can I do in my sim rig right now? Well, I can boot up PMR and I can experiment with this. And I don't think about, like, I can boot up this other sim. I think I want to boot up LMU or iRacing. No. The only reason those games are even installed is because I stream. Anyway. Oh, God. Nürburgring GP track. No. Anyway, get off me phone. I'd play Horizon. I agree. I'm hoping. 6 feels good. I'm hoping 6 feels good. Yeah, I would imagine trying to drift with a G. I couldn't with this thing. It would break my hands. Uh-oh. Is it raining again? The wipers are moving, but I don't see any rain. Yeah, it's raining. It's not very rendered, apparently. There it is. The AI and the Audi had a really bad day? Yeah. Yeah, I think my streaming is going to, because I'm looking into the future, right? That's the biggest thing you always got to do is like you're planning things out, not relying on living in the moment. You have to live in the moment, but you still got to like have ideas. For me, I'm thinking a rotation of PMR, Forza Horizon 6, and possibly Wreckfest. Rensport could be an unsung here. Here's the thing. I'm looking at games that I can create ease of playing with people, right? Forza Horizon's clearly going to be easy to play with people. It's going to be cross-play. It's going to have it's a mainstream AAA video game by comparison to the rest. Wreckfest, we'll see. I assume we'll be able to have lobbies, but either way, it's easy to join a random lobby together. PMR will become the serious sim. Regardless if people think it's serious or not, I really don't give a shit. It'll be my serious sim. The game that I care more about winning in. Forza Horizon 6 will be more of like I don't need to rely, I can just play single player. You know? Let's face it, Forza Horizon's going to have a much bigger single player than Wreckfest or PMR, period. Be right back. Wreckfest 2 does look amazing. It feels amazing, by the way. Yeah, I will. I mean, they kind of have to nail that in a sense. Like you can as much shit as you might want to give PMR for its damage model and stuff like that being kind of, well, not really there. You can't give Wreckfest that leeway because that's literally, it's a Demolition Derby style racing game. So like, they have to nail that, you know. If you, I agree. Forza Horizon, that's the thing. I'd be interested to see how it is from a streaming standpoint, though, because I found that, like, games that are popular don't necessarily mean they're fun to watch. You know, like what makes sim racing fun to watch is the serious intent of wanting to win the race. Like, it feels like I'm watching a real race with my favorite person that I like to watch doing it. You know, I'm kind of rooting for them. Whereas shooters are kind of like that. It's more of a survival style thing. But like, Forza Horizon 6 is going to have a lot of people playing it, but how good is it going to be to watch? That will be the question, you know? I picked my nose for a second here, and I don't want you all to see it. Drifting is a big one. Either way, I think it'll be fun, though. All right, so... I probably should have maxed out downforce for this, but oh well. Well, that was my favorite thing to do in Gran Turismo 7. Build super fast streetcars, like ballistic missiles of a streetcar, engine swap GTRs, and literally take them down north as fast as possible. It's my absolute favorite thing to do in Gran Turismo 7. This is going to be a wreckfest right here. I actually have to, if I want a chance at this championship, I have to kind of bank on getting first place in here. Because I'm not going to win any of the dry races. Thanks for the assist. I can't see shit. Oh, that's track limit for sure. One thing about the rain that gets you every time, unless you're in the rain a lot, is you don't anticipate the slide that happens right before you stop. Like in the dry, you obviously grip up real quick. But in this, it's like, oh, it feels exactly the same under braking. And then when you get to that certain braking area where it just doesn't stop sliding. And you never anticipate that. At least I don't, anyway. Ugh. I noticed it's not raining in the car anymore. They must have sealed up all the holes. God damn, get going. I agree with you, Oil Slick, right there on the Lexus. That is the best sounding car in ACC by a landslide. That car sounds so good. Ah! Oh, look, it's a Lamborghini in the front. Cut him off! Perfect. Gotta get a little dirty from time to time with these AI. so weird that I can beat the AI, like, comfortably in the rain. And they destroy me on concrete or on dry road. Have a good one, ETR. Thanks for being here. We'll be back on tonight for open lobbies. Or, sorry, EJR lobbies. Got a brand. Got to keep that brand going. Love it or hate it. Got a brand. All right. So let's see. I did 212. Lamborghini. Like, look at the difference, though. Why is the fastest car always the Lamborghini? And look at that in spades. Second fastest lap time was a Corvette, ironically. But this is consistent. Top of the pack is always a Lamborghini, and it's always much faster on pace. What's next? Oh boy, I'm going to get my ass kicked here. Definitely going to get my ass kicked at Red Bull Ring. I might have to qualify on the dry road stuff. Just because they're too fast. Alright, let me go to the bathroom quick and I'll be right back. Let's go out-qualify the AI quick before I give them too much time on track. This race in the 5 after a dry weather, well, that's good. Means I gotta, well, it means I'm gonna lose them all. You stupid bitch. This track is literally all curb, huh? I mean, I've been told that. I know that. But it is quite literally all curb. Alright, there we go. There's a slow-ass lap, and return to pit, advance the session. Claim my first place. That's how I gotta beat the AI right now. Oh, look! The Lamborghini. Unbelievable, man. So far, we got 64 votes in. 62% say, do you like the career mode? Yes. 38% say no. Good to know. All right. No! Why are you so fast out of the hole? Got that first place early. Now I just got to hold them off for 7 laps. They're only going to get faster. I'm going to stay the same, if not get slower, so... Gotta get away from them early. Because their nitrous is gonna turn on soon. Ah, terrible. Isn't the time to be like 126 or something like that on this track? Dreadful driving. Dreadful driving. No! Why? Unbelievable. Good thing I had some distance on him. AI doesn't like first gear corners? Interesting. So what you're saying is I should clean sweep on Monza, too. It does not like going in that curve right there on brakes. Even though the line's telling me to go there, it does not like it. Yeah, I'm kicking the ass of the AI on this track. I'm hoping with 2.0, they completely reset the rank play. I know some people will probably be against that, but for the sake of like a clean slate and feeling like you're starting the game over, all the guys that like played through the bugs and got punished by the bugs, give them a chance at redemption of, you know, trying to be higher ranked right off the rip, you know? Confirm or deny, I think that's a good idea or a bad idea? I don't really have any reputation in ranked at all right now, so it doesn't really matter for me, but... No idea why it took so long to brake right there, but... Porsches, eh? All right, so 131, that's dog shit. If 126 is the benchmark, 131 is dog shit. But that's fine. All right, let's see. Ooh, Zolder. This will be interesting. Just check something quick. Pause this so I don't give the AI time to kick my ass. Checking tracking here on something. All right. That was definitely second gear. I don't know why I went to first. All right. There we go. Bathroom break again. Next race. All right. Next race. Zolder. Hey, how you doing, Zolder? What's good? Give in to the pressure. This will probably be my last race for today's stream. And then we'll be back on tonight for some lobbies. Notice how the only car close to me is a Lamborghini? Second place lapped faster than me. Look how much faster that Lamborghini was. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All right, boys. That was my last race. All right, we'll continue this career possibly Monday. We'll see. We'll see what I feel like doing Monday. I think the AI definitely needs more balancing to make it really intriguing, the racing. Because I don't know how to set the AI. 75%, there's one guy that's a challenge that's like really hard to beat, and then the rest of the pack is substantially slower. So, I don't know. Anyway, folks, that's it for me today. I'll be back tonight. 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, roughly in that area for some lobbies. So be ready. Get your multiplayer on. Get your competition on. Limberto, you stay home. You're too fast. And yeah, let's get it tonight. Anyway, folks, 11 o'clock is to be the latest I start. And yeah, anyway, hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one.